What's up guys, it's Geo and welcome to another Geotalks meta. I know there hasn't been an episode of this in quite a long time, but usually I only cover OU news, and there was more OU news announced today, and it is that the first official suspect of the ORAS OU era has begun, and it is a suspect test of Greninja. And I know a lot of you are, well, there's like two reactions to this. One of them is like, yes, thank God Greninja is being suspected, which that was my reaction. And the second reaction is, really, are they really suspecting Greninja? And I'm going to be here to break down both sides of the argument for you and tell you my opinion, because that is how these things go. But anyway, let us start with looking at this real quick. This is just basically telling us that they're suspecting Greninja this round, mainly due to Gunk Shot, Low Kick, and Protean. And you gotta achieve a quota rating of 2,700 more on the OU suspect ladder ending Sunday, January 4th. So this will take place over winter break, which means I may go for Rex. I don't know. And, just general stuff and keep the conversation civil and avoid uninformed one-liners. There were a lot of one-liners like this one. And, anyway, so yeah. We'll go ahead and break down both sides of the argument right here. And I made a post, but in my opinion, Jaguar360 took a lot more time on his post, and it's a lot better than mine. So if he's watching this video, shout out to him. Thank you for unwillingly letting me read your post on the internet. Anyway, first of all, he starts off by saying, look, it is one of his favorite Pokemon, but that it's overwhelming and that it's too good. And the pros of Greninja are 122 base speed, meaning that it's stupid fast, like stupid fast, to the point that it's just not even fair. Like, it outspeeds Tornadus, it outspeeds Starmie, Mega Metagross, it gets the jump on all the new base 110 megas, and generally the fact that nothing switches into it with that combination of speed is what makes it so good, which kind of throws in on the second and third point, that it has an excellent ability in Protean. And Protean, honestly, is one of the best abilities in the game. I understand it has pretty horrible distribution, but every Pokemon who gets it is generally a pretty good Pokemon, bar Kecleon, which just is pretty slow, and that's its reason for why it's not as good. But the fact that you can get Stab on any one of your coverage moves turns you into a gigantic threat, because things you wouldn't be able to OHKO, like Mega Gyarados with Grass Knot, you can now OHKO cleanly. Ice Beam or Dark Pulse on Latias, almost an OHKO if they're not running the bad spread. You have stuff like Heatran, which turns 40 attack low kick into an OHKO, so there's no need for a Hydro Pump. You don't have to run it. You can run Gunk Shot, Low Kick, Ice Beam, and Dark Pulse, and have generally unresisted coverage. And the fact that it can set up spikes and have U-turn also makes it pretty good as well. Because it can turn it into more of a scout and support Pokemon if that's what you want to do. There was a really good RMT by Crashing Boom Bang at the end of the XYOU era that displays how well how effective Spike's Greninja is, because one of the main switch-ins in XYOU to, or just like, people will throw out their switch-ins to Greninja, and you can just like lay down a spike and then switch out, because if you know you're not going to be able to touch it with your moves, then why not just get 12% on the next Pokemon that comes out, because you can force out Greninja's counter, get an extra 12% on something else, and generally continue the process. And then last is highly unpredictable because of its coverage and ability to go mixed. And this is the scary thing about it, really. Like, the most terrifying thing about Greninja is that you send it out, you have no idea what moves it has. You have no idea whatsoever. Out of its viable moves, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Dark Pulse, Grass Knot, Hidden Power Grass, Low Kick, Gunk Shot, U-turn, if I didn't already say that, Spikes, and is there anything else I'm missing? Extra Sensory is another one that it can run, which is super scary, which allows it to break past Psychic types. And then I think that's about it. But that's a really wide list of viable moves for a Pokemon, and the fact that it can pull off all of those at a crazy high power and super fast speed is really what breaks Greninja. And so he says here that, Greninja has one counter in Porygon 2, but it has very low usage because it's not super effective versus everything else, but and people will say, look, Chansey is a switch-in. Chansey is not a switch in. That does 50% with Gunk Shot and 50% with Low Kick. So no matter what, you can't switch your Chansey in, even if it's at 100% health, unless you're running 252 HP, 252 defense, which you kind of have to do in order to avoid being 2-hit KO'd by Greninja after rocks, which you still may be able to. But the cons, which I will read here, it's very, very frail. It's kind of hard to get in. You have to run it off volt switches or U-turns, which normally isn't that hard, or you just get it a free switch by sacking something. That's definitely a con to Greninja. It is frail. You got me there. It often kills itself due to Life Orb recoil, which, you know, is another problem, but is generally a problem for Talonflame too. Although I will say Greninja doesn't have a move like Roost, so it can't necessarily recover like that, but you know, Life Orb is well worth it in my opinion. And then weak to priority because of its low defense and HP and lacking of a strong priority itself, though it can take certain priority moves depending on what type it is. And examples of this, it can take Conkeldur's Mach Punch if it Gunk Shots the switch in. It can take Breloom's Mach Punch. It can take Bisharp's Sucker Punch if it Dark Pulses or Low Kicks. It really will never be able to take a Brave Bird from Talonflame. But I was actually talking to Dark Scissor on Twitter about this. He was like, wait, isn't Greninja checked by Talonflame? And I was like, yeah, Talonflame can come in and revenge Greninja, but the problem is you have to sack something to get Greninja in. And the fact that you have to build around, like, if you really don't want to lose to Greninja, like Almamola Chansey cores, makes offense pretty much unviable. I was trying to build a team with Brendan the other day around Pursuit Mega Metagross, which I'm still kind of tinkering with and will probably find a result with later. You know, we had 2 Mons left because we decided to run like Latios for hazard control. We had like Mega Metagross, Keldeo, Thundurus, and Latios. And we were like, alright, we have our Talonflame check in Thundurus. We need a Greninja check. And it took up the last 2 spots because we wanted to run something with rocks. And what I ended up deciding on was a core of Spadef, Gastrodon, and Hippowdon of my defensive core because it could kind of give me some physical bulk to stomach low kicks and stuff. And basically my mindset there was like, look, I'm not going to be able to cover Greninja's moves in 2 Pokemon unless I want to run like really fat Pokemon. So I'm just going to say, look, if my opponent has Grass Knot or HP Grass Greninja, I just lose straight up, so I'll just forfeit those matches, but otherwise I can cover Greninja. And I think therein lies the problem of Greninja, the fact that even with 2 Pokemon on like balanced teams, you may not be able to cover it. It really forces your opponent to rely heavily on prediction, and like often results in good players, like really good players, losing to really bad players using Greninja, just because like even if you like trap a Spadef wall or like an Almamola or something and you weaken it to like 30%, it doesn't matter, Greninja will come in and kill it. As I already showed, Chansey can't even switch in. It's so stupid. It's incredibly stupid. Greninja is so powerful, and to be honest, I think it should be banned. But what do you guys think? That is one of 2 comment question of the videos for this. The first comment question of the video is, do you guys think Greninja should be banned? What are your guys' opinions and thoughts? Is there anything that I missed in this video that you guys would have liked me to cover? And the other thing is, would you guys like to see me do, would you guys like to see me record me laddering for Rex? I haven't done that, and I think it may be kind of fun. I don't know, just tell me in the comment section below, but anyway. Make sure to leave a like if you guys did enjoy this Geotalks meta. I'm still trying to get back into these things, so, you know, hopefully the more I can do, the better. Also, comment question of the comment questions of the video. You guys know the whole drill on that. And then with that, I urge you guys to subscribe if you guys are enjoying the constant content. And with that, I'll catch you on the flip-flop.